from the floating island that majestically moves through the air high above the beautiful city of Vancouver in the Phoenix Labs lair. I am Community Manager Crash 7800, aka Ian Tournay, here with the first official Dauntless livestream. We could not be more excited. From the day that we announced Dauntless, we knew that we wanted to have a community-centered game. We knew that we wanted to build a community that would thrive and grow based upon your feedback, based upon your involvement. And today is a huge milestone for us, coming to you with this live stream. So it really is a show for you guys. I've got the Twitch stream up here. I'm seeing the love. I'm seeing the hype in the chat. It's looking very good. Got a little Meat Boy there. No Pepsi Man yet. That's okay. We'll wait for the true fans to show up. It's not a big deal. But today on the stream, what we're going to do is, this is our first thing, so there may be some bumps and bruises as we go. There may be a few little hiccups. Be patient with us. Bear with us. Take notes. Be sure that you submit any ideas you have, any ways that we could improve, any ways that we could make this better. Like, for example, I could not find Band-Aids, so I used packing tape to get my lav wire attached to my body. And when I pull off, it's going to hurt very bad. If you have thoughts on what kind of tape I could use to avoid ripping the hair out of my body, send those over to the Reddit, send those over to Twitter, send those over to the forums, and we will get that moving. But today on the show, what we're going to do is we got a brand new blog up talking about the Evergame, the huge changes that are coming soon. We're going to have a special guest. We're going to answer your questions that you guys submitted to Reddit. And other than that, we're just going to have a good time. We're going to look at chat. We also have our boy Brad, Yoshi, as you may know him, the RNG himself, passing out codes from the PlayDauntless account. So keep an eye out for those. Other than that, yeah, just keep the hype in the chat going. Beautiful, beautiful hype chat right here. And let's move on to checking out this blog article together, guys. I do want to say it is always a pleasure to represent the team at Phoenix Labs. They are just right over here. The whole rest of the studio is over here. Everyone in the studio, both up here in Vancouver, on the floating island above Vancouver, and the floating island above San Francisco, both offices. If you're watching, I cannot tell you what a pleasure it is, what an honor it is to represent your work. So thank you so much, guys. Open beta is coming on the 24th. It's going to be amazing. And let's get a look at what's going to be in there. So you can already see here we've got our first official Evergame update that we've done. And kick it off with just a little bit of lore. If we want, we can read that together, but I think first we'll dive into the details. So I want to get started with this image. I think it's extremely striking. You can see the map. So what we did is we looked at the hunt board, the way that you navigate through different islands and choose the hunts that you want to go on. And the hunt board was all right. I think it worked pretty well, but you know, having this graphic representation, having something that really pops out, grabs your attention, and shows you what the Shattered Isles look like, gives you an idea of the lore and the texture and where you can go, all of those things. I think it's going to make a huge difference. And the other thing it's going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to show you really how islands kind of come and go, how content really kind of comes and goes in the game. And that's going to make a huge difference for you guys. Again, as it says here, of course, a lot of this is based on your feedback. So, you know, we've recently published a lot of numbers about how many people have played in the closed beta. It's been a huge outpouring of support. It's been a huge honor. And the feedback that we got was really, really inspiring. Like, I can't tell you what it means to us to get this level of feedback, to get this much feedback. And, you know, we've really taken all that feedback to heart. And this is what you're seeing as a result. So as we say here, you know, a little bit of lore, a little bit of flavor for you guys. You know, being a cartographer in the Shattered Isles, that's not an easy job. Islands are always moving and changing. Of course, we all learned the word cartographer from Halo, so that's good. A little education, a little gaming education. And of course, this is going to have a huge impact on progression. So as it says here, in the new world map, you'll be able to select your hunts and see what's available. And you're not going to probably be able to see everything all at once. This is going to be a world that grows and changes over time, but it will allow you to kind of dig in. You know, of course, can see Ramsgate. You can see all the other wonderful places. So already you can kind of see a little bit of what we're going to be talking about further down the blog. You've got your patrols, your expeditions, your pursuits, the quests that you can go on, and the different behemoths you can engage with. So it's great. And then let's take a look at, we've got Arkin here holding it down with lanterns. We are going to have new lanterns. Lanterns is one of the things that we really got a lot of feedback from. from the community. Like people wanted lanterns that were more impactful. They wanted lanterns that putting cells into them felt a lot better. So that's one of the things. Kind of jumping ahead a little bit there, but this image is just really so tasty. I couldn't resist talking about our boy Arkin here. Yeah, so I think the other thing that you're seeing here is reputation is coming in, right? Right now, the way that you progress through the game, and one of the things that we saw really early on is we didn't want to think about the game kind of in terms of like tiers or stages, right? We kind of want, what we've talked about is having an ever game. Having a game that expands, that you can find different content as you go, and it's not about just saying like, oh, okay, now I am here. This is where I punch, and this is what I do. And what we saw immediately was the community started classifying, started talking about the game in terms of tiers. So we really wanted to kind of avoid that. And one of the ways that we figured out to do that is to give you guys a different sense of how to move forward, right? Like, how can you know how far you've come as a Slayer? How can you know where you're punching? Aside from just like what behemoths are available to you. So we're going to be adding reputation tracks, and those come from NPCs. Different vendors in the town will give you opportunities to talk to them, to do quests for them. Some of those are part of the story. Some of those are, they roll up into dailies and weeklies. And by completing these quests, you build your rep. And so the first person who's going to give you, well, not the first person, but one of the first people to give you rep is going to be, of course, Kat. You've seen her in some of the trailers. You're going to see her in the amazing opening cinematic that we're working on, and she's going to be a very important character in the game. And so when you talk to Kat, she's kind of the head of the Slayers inside of Ramsgate, as you probably know from talking to her. And she's going to, as you complete quests, give you the opportunity to really progress and move forward, giving you access to new hunts, giving you access to new behemoths, and challenging you as you go. She's a pretty tough cookie. So the next person you're going to run into that's going to give you an opportunity for rep is going to be Wills, the weaponsmith who you probably know and love. He's always got something exciting for you, something exciting to share. And he's going to give you access to more weapons, and he's going to give you access to kind of more cells by completing reps. So one of the really interesting things that we saw is, I'm an axe main for the most part, and we see a lot of people go for the war pike. We see a lot of people go for, really all the weapons get love, but what we kind of saw was that Slayers that started with certain weapons really had a better time, both like understanding the mechanics of the game. They had a better time kind of getting a grasp on things, and they tended to have a better experience based upon the feedback that we saw. So right now, the kind of design, the kind of idea is that when you load in for the very first time, and again, we're going to have a wipe on the second, and what that's going to allow us to do is get everybody on the same track, see how you progress, and we are going to have, we'll talk about it a little lower in the blog, but we'll have rewards to thank you for participating in this testing phase. But anyway, so when we come back from the wipe, what you're going to notice is that the axe and the war pike are actually locked away right off the bat. If you are a dedicated axe player, if you're a dedicated war pike player, don't panic. Don't panic. They're not going to be hard to unlock. They're not going to be hard to get a hold of again. But you are going to need to complete some quests and build that weapon smith rep up so that you can get a hold of it. So there's that. The other important thing to note is that as you go forward, you're going to unlock more sophisticated cells, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit too. I can already see the chat. I can see the chat kind of going, oh no, how am I going to get my war pike? How am I going to get my axe? Really, guys, trust me, it's just going to be a few quests in. It's not going to take a lot of unlocking. Once you have it unlocked, you're good to go. You'll be able to move forward. I'm talking about, maybe 2-3 quests. I can't give you guys a number right now, but if you guys are dedicated axe fans, if you're dedicated war pike fans, you can just grab a hold of it. Don't worry about it. And if we see that doesn't work, if we see in the closed feedback that it doesn't pan out, that's something that we can look at. So that's what this time is for. And of course, the bosun. Your beautiful bosun boy Marcus, the alchemist in the RAM, he's going to be able to give you access to better consumables as you move forward with your rep with him. So as you can see, you've got Kat kind of giving you access to new challenges and quests and things. You've got Will's giving you access to new weapons and weapon powers, and you've got Marcus. And the rep is not just going to be this thing where it's kind of a stand-in for a quest system or like a campaign. You're going to have daily and weekly challenges, which we talk about a little further down the blog, right? And so that's another thing that we heard, right? So like right now, the weekly challenges that rotate in and out, you have Shroud, you have Rezakiri, and one of the very first things we heard is, well, I want those fights, I really want to get engaged with that, and it feels bad, man, to have those kind of locked behind timed releases. We want the core content to be available to Slayers, and we're trying to figure out how to make that work. And so I think, daily challenges, so the content itself is unique in that there are challenges that are applied to it, or there's a twist on the mission or something. That is how we look at that, and weeklies are the same way. By completing dailies and weeklies, you're going to advance your reputation with the person who's given you that assignment. And then aside from that, you're also going to have the opportunity to collect, of course, rewards. By doing those every day, by logging in, by doing your dailies, by doing your weeklies, if that's the kind of player you are, that's going to build up to unlocking really great things for you. Of course, patrols, that's nothing new. And we saw really, really great feedback from that. It really helps to, sometimes you're just like, all I want to do is I want to get out there, I want to start slaying, I don't want to worry about where I'm going, I don't want to, burden myself with all these concerns, I just want to get out there and get going. Patrol is a great way to say, okay, I know like this is kind of the general range that I want to slay in. You head out and you're good to go. And you'll get bonus Arcanite, which you'll need for crafting, of course. That won't be changing. The Expedition, of course, that lets you it lets you choose what island you'll hunt on, but not the behemoth. So if you're like, oh, I need this specific like herb, or I need this specific mineral, you can head out on an expedition and you'll have ready access to crafting those things. Because we know that is why most people will go on expeditions. You'll also receive a bonus bundle of the materials that are available on that island, which is going to be great. And then if you want to go after the behemoth, you go on a pursuit. That's nothing new, right? Great. Ooh, look at this beautiful new island. Got the little ether jumper over there. I'm curious, what does chat think actually about the little ether jumpers, the little ether geysers? I think they're super fun, and I think that we're really excited to explore new ways to traverse the islands, to let you navigate around, to let you find new little nooks and crannies. We're working on new islands, so you'll actually see that's mentioned here in the blog. And really, really amazing stuff coming down. In the studio, we do a lot of play testing, and I've had the pleasure of exploring some of the new islands. They are very nice, and you're going to like them very much. And so to make it exciting and fun to explore those things, one of the biggest pieces of feedback we got was on set bonuses, was on armor perks, and on cells, and on customization. And so we really hit the drawing board hard. We really, we knew that cells are the idea of cells makes sense, right? Cells is a good system. But what wasn't working was it feels bad to get a cell and then it doesn't work with the weapon you have, or you're forced into crafting a certain kind of weapon, or it feels bad when you put the cell in and then you get a better weapon, or you get that material drop you need to craft, and then when you go to rip the cell out, it destroys the cell. Feels very bad, right? So I had the pleasure of sitting down with Ian H., who is a designer who's spearheading the new cell system that we're working on. There is going to be a blog, but I can give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek here on the live stream. Verbal sneak peek, that's how that works. It's like a sneak peek for your ears. And what's going to happen is we are going to have a new cell system, and we'll be diving into that. The new cell system is going to be, first of all, you are going to be able to remove cells. That's, I think, one of the biggest things that's super important is you'll be able to remove cells right out of items and gear, and then resocket them if you want. You'll have to pay notes, and the amount of notes you'll have to pay depends on the rarity of the cell you're pulling out. The other thing that's really cool is that instead of saying okay, this is a sword cell or this is a helm cell, instead the cells are grouped kind of by what they do. So do they relate to strength? Did they relate to kind of more support things? Did they relate to kind of more dexterity things? And the different cells you get ladder up into those things. So different pieces of armor will have different slots, and you will be limited in that it's like, okay, this accepts, you know, a more offensively geared cell, and this one accepts a more defensively geared cell. And so you will, I think what that's going to allow us to do is not have limitations that feel bad, but having a structure that works in concert with the different perks that armor gives you. And then you can kind of start to build. I think one of the things I'm most excited for is to see debates and to see conversations in the community on Reddit and the forums about, you know, what people's builds are. And we weren't really getting that diversity, right, from the cell system before, and I think we're really in for that. So anyway, that was a little preview for you guys. I know it's not mentioned here in the blog, and we'll have a full blog. We'll have some screenshots and stuff to dive in. You can see what it's going to look like. But yeah, and so the other thing too, of course, is islands, as we've said from the beginning, rotate in and out, and there will be 2 new islands, and these are heavily influenced by your feedback. So we get feedback on, you know, is it fun to be on the islands? Is it fun to explore the islands? Of course, people love smacking around the rams, so we're looking into how to make elements like that more exciting and relevant to the game in the long run. And of course, the Evergame. So we've talked about the Evergame. I think, you know, a lot of people ask about things like the end game. I'm a big WoW player, and one of the things that I've noticed over time, part of it is just having a job, part of it is just having you know, a life that goes beyond video games because I'm not in college anymore, is trying to find time to grind up to the end game. And what we really didn't want was for people to be like, okay, I know I have to log in, I know I have to put 40 to 60 hours in to get to the real game. We want you guys to be able to have a deep experience that's enjoyable, that's meaningful, that works for everybody. Yeah, and not have to worry about. We're gonna big size the blog, by the way. I'm hearing it's a little tiny and hard to read. You're going to be able to dive in and explore the game, explore all of the things that are in the Shattered Isles, and all of the different experiences. Some portion of them, right, you'll need to unlock, or they will really come into their own as you progress through the game. But we don't want to be locking everything away, and then you're just going arbitrarily through this campaign to get to the end game. That's why we call it an ever game. So the first thing that we're doing to make the Evergame pop is we've said from the beginning we want to make a hard game. We are totally comfortable with, you know, 95% fail rates for people who are going on their first hunts against these behemoths, and we do see that we do see that there are definitely behemoths that are tough nuts to crack, right? But I think that the team is always excited to push your guys' skills to see, like, you know, how much more we can challenge you. And so you can look forward to new dire behemoths. So you may have seen these referred to maybe as like alphas or top tier, but the official name is dire. So these dire behemoths, you're going to be getting your Firebrand Charog. You're going to be getting your Razorwing Karabac. You're going to get your Frostback Pangar. You're going to get your Bloodfire Embermane. You're going to get your Moonreaver Shrike, of course, and Deadeye Quillshot, but they're going to be getting a little tweaked to kind of make it sense. So it's going to be very good. Any Slayer that cannot adapt is as good as dead. That is true, and I want to apply that to some of the, and I don't want to be harsh, a little bit of whining I'm seeing in the chat about the keys. If you guys want them, if you guys need a key, you got to be fast, have that redemption page open, be ready to pop that baby right in there and grab it. Don't worry, we have at least 100 keys to give away. I'm beyond excited that you guys are all here with us. So if we run out of keys, don't worry, we can always come up with new ways to give them away. And if you feel like the key system's not working, leave a little feedback and we'll come up with something else. But at any rate, unique hunt modifiers are coming in as well, and we're experimenting with those, sometimes to pretty hilarious results inside of the studio. But we really want you guys to, I think, like, one of the things that happens in games, even, I think it tends to happen more in competitive games, but like PvP games, but I think it even happens in PvE games, is it's like there is one right build. Right? It's like if you play racing games, it's like, nope, this is the fastest car, it has the best handling. If you don't drive this car, you can't compete. You're not playing viable meta, right? And by introducing new challenges and having these challenges come and go, ebb and flow, we're going to be pushing you guys to have many builds that you have access to. We're going to push you guys to really challenge yourselves and try different things to adapt to these challenges. I know this is going to appeal to you guys. I see even inside the community, people pushing themselves, coming up with arbitrary constraints and challenging themselves on the forums. So I think this is really going to pop when you guys can start to do that a little more officially. It's going to be exciting. And of course, what would those challenges be without rewards? Guys, I am beyond excited to reveal one of our first exotic weapons. So this is the Shroud Sword. It has these, so these eyes are actually individually, they individually animate. So they blink, they rotate, they swirl around, they focus on things. It is awesome to behold. We were gonna get you guys something animated soon, but I kind of don't want to spoil it for you. I want like the first time you see it to be in the game. But yeah, this is definitely akin to like an exotic type weapon. And not only does this thing look amazing, but when you guys see the unique ability that this gives you, you are gonna go nuts. I don't want to spoil it, but what I can tell you is that right now we are planning on having 4 exotic items at least for open beta. And we'll be adding many, many more over time. Now, of course, if you, for whatever reason, don't like the unique ability on this awesome Shroud Sword, or maybe you don't like something else about the look of it, which I feel like maybe that's not right because this thing looks amazing. Well, you do you. Chase your bliss. We are bringing transmog in. So I know that we've talked about this since we announced Founders Packs, because of course transmog stones are in the Founders Packs. But if you want to change the look of this weapon, but keep the stats, then you can do that. And if you want to keep your, entry tier Nasher blade and make it look like the Shroud Sword, that's your business, and you can transmog it. So it's great. So those will be coming soon. And as you can see here, we're always working to make weapons that are really, really inspired by the behemoths. And I think that the Shroud Sword here really demonstrates how far we can push that. And I think that you guys are in for some really, really amazing gear. Yeah. So, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing a reset on May 2nd. And the reason for that is that so we've gone through the blog. We'll be diving into the new cell system, new elements of customization, new armor set bonuses and things. And we're going to be diving into the new maps and the new hunts and all of these things with you guys. But they are huge changes to progression. And we want to make sure that they work. We want to make sure that they are exciting, because when we go into open beta, there is going to be a flood of new Slayers, guys. And we want to make sure that they have the best experience they can. And so we really want to give you guys the opportunity to give us the feedback. Did we address your previous feedback correctly? Is everything working? Are you excited to share this game with your friends? Are you excited to dive in head first with all of this? All of that is so important to us. But we also understand you guys are busy. There are a ton of great games to play. And above and beyond that, we can't thank you guys enough for the feedback that you give us. The feedback that you give us makes it possible for us to know, are we doing this right? Do we need to make changes? And so to really make it worth your time, of course, the friendships you'll forge, the adventures you'll go on, those are invaluable. But we also want to give you guys rewards. So if you've participated in the closed beta leading up to May 2nd, there is a reward, a cosmetic reward that you'll receive. And then based upon the level of engagement that you have leading up to the wipe for open beta, which will happen on the 22nd. So second wipe happens on the 22nd, open beta on the 24th. We need to take the 23rd to kind of get everything in a pile and get ready. But leading up to the 22nd, if you, depending on how far you advance through the new content and how engaged you are, there's going to be different tiers of rewards. And we're determining what that is. We really want it to be something special and cool. So we're nailing that down. If you guys have ideas or what you think would be really cool, let us know. Great. And so, yeah, as always, as I mentioned, we'll get down to the thank you section. Really can't thank you guys enough. I mean, it's been amazing. it's hard to believe how long it's been since we announced Dauntless at the Game Awards, and to go from being in a small little studio and being nervous about flying Jesse down to hang out with Jeff Keighley, who is a wonderful gentleman, by the way, going from that to having more than 550 of you guys in the chat is amazing. So, you know, thank you guys. We couldn't do this without you, and it's amazing. So, speaking of being nervous about bringing Jesse in front of a camera, our special guest today is none other than Jesse Houston, who has brought his own special guest, and we're gonna just slide right over here. Jesse, you want to join me on the live stream?
I do.
Hello. Who have you brought with us today?
I brought Benson.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Benson needs to...
He needs the love.
He needs to mess everything up.
Yeah. How we doing, boss?
Doing really well.
Yeah. Feeling it?
I am feeling it. It is like humming here.
Yeah.
You guys can't see it, but there's like... there's so much stuff going on at the studio that we were actually really super nervous about doing the live stream. And so like our studio is kind of split in a bunch of places, and we have like these big crash mats. We're actually sitting in the middle of our motion capture studio right now. We don't really have like a dedicated space to do this, but so we put all the crash mats that we use for all of our motion capture up to try and block all the sound from like all the crazy stuff that's happening. There's you know, dozens of folks just over there who are like going crazy, doing amazing stuff, and it is a really exciting time for us.
It is. So yesterday or the day before was a very big milestone for the studio.
It was our 4-year anniversary. Yes, we incorporated 4 years ago. We were just 3 of us at that point, and, and you know, we had this like crazy vision, and yeah, wow, God, 4 years.
It's kind of amazing, isn't it?
I didn't have gray hair before.
You have that producer glow about you now. Yeah, it's amazing. So talk to me a little bit about. So not only has it been 4 years. Not only do we have an amazing, growing, passionate group of people making the game over there, we also have a studio down in San Francisco.
We do. Yes, there are 6 wonderful folks working out of our San Mateo office. We're actually like fairly spread out. We've got 6 folks in San Mateo, a couple of folks in Edmonton. Someone in, we got you in Portland sometimes.
We do.
We've got someone in Toronto. Yeah, we're pretty spread out.
Yeah.
About 40 some odd folks here.
Yeah.
And then about 15 folks externally.
Yeah.
So.
The Shattered Isles, they move.
They do move
in the sky. And if we fly over your house, we throw the rope down, just tug you up, and then that's how you start to work here. Is there actually, if anyone's watching and they're looking for a gig, are we hiring any open positions?
Hiring. If you go to, what is it? phoenixlabs.me is our hiring page. We've got a few open positions still, but yeah, no, it's we're growing. Yeah. You guys, the community's been so amazingly supportive and interested that you know, we're really just trying to keep up, and the amount of feedback that we get and the amount of changes that we want to make to the game are just like fast and furious, and we're literally just trying to do everything we can. I had to throw one Fast and the Furious thing in. Come on.
Do you live your life a quarter mile at a time?
I do.
That's good to
know. Funny story about that. So notes being one of the currencies in the game.
Yes, I'm so happy we can tell the story.
Yeah, totally. So I have a thing about Fast and the Furious, as Ian is mentioning. So originally, notes were called VINs after Vin Diesel because I should never be allowed to name anything ever.
Well, and then we thought, oh, well, maybe instead of it being currency, VINs is a measure of distance, which is a quarter mile, roughly equal to a quarter mile.
Yes, it was. And there is art actually in the game that has this stuff on it.
Yes.
And again, they should not let me make any decisions ever.
I think you're wonderful. I know he's a D&D player. Maybe he's a Dauntless player. Low-key Dauntless player.
Maybe one day I'll get to meet him.
That would be amazing.
I love you so much.
I love you so much, Vin Diesel. Awesome. Well, do you want to? We had some questions posted in the subreddit. Do you want to help me answer some questions? Cool. All right, I'm going to pull some of these up over here. So the number one question we got is, will the Evergame be an endless progression system, or will there be a level limit?
That's a great question. So we call it the Evergame for very explicitly, and we've been calling it that internally for a long time. The idea being that we want players to always be feeling like the more that they engage with Dauntless, the more that they are rewarded for that time, and the more like they're able to express their achievement between their friends and for themselves. So, it's not a straight like leveling system. It is much more a way for players to kind of keep coming back and finding more ways to to interact with the game.
Awesome. Very good. We got kind of a lightning round of questions here. So will armor aspects or the elemental system be coming back? We talked about the armor aspects and perks coming back. Where's elemental at?
Oh, great question. So I'm definitely not the best person to answer this, but
that's okay.
you know,
well, conceptually.
Yeah. So I mean, it's really important for us that we want to create a system whereby you make a choice of what type of weapon you use, and that choice has a ton of meaning to it, and that certain behemoths have weaknesses and strengths, and so we're still kind of playing around in there. Yeah. I would let Fox answer that before I should, because I'll say something and then he'll come and like roll in.
Come flying in.
Like, no, that's not what we're doing anymore.
Yeah. We would have Fox on, but he's extremely adamant that we feature his sneaker collection, and so we need to get a second
we don't have
sneaker.
A wide-angle camera.
Yeah. Well, I think like we're going to order another camera and just point it only at his feet. In fact, this thing might just be 24/7, and most of the time it's just sneaker cam.
He has really the nicest shoes in the studio.
He does. I would say nicest car, but I'm too close, and I think you'd hit me.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Jesse just souped up his car. It's very nice.
He and I also drive the exact same car. So.
It is quite nice. It is very nice. It's not my Volkswagen, but it'll get you where you're going. Another question from the same person. Will we be getting online status indication for friends and guilds? So maybe even just talk a little bit more about guilds in general.
So just speaking directly to the question around whether or not you're going to see your friends. So we are, it is a surprisingly complex feature. Oddly enough, to show whether players are online.
Also true about key bindings, by the way. Not as easy as you may believe.
Thank you to the folks that just
just go on Unreal and just tick the box on key bindings, right?
But there's a group of folks right now that are actively working on that. I actually think today that we really want to try and get that in. There's some scale implications that may prevent it from being day and date with open beta, but the goal is right now to have the ability for you to know whether your friends are online or not.
Awesome.
As far as guilds go, so first implementation of guilds was meant to be basically kind of a secondary friends list. So somewhere where, if you have, what one might call like a soft high relationship to somebody, like, if I'm in, say, Lighted Up Dan's crew, like I want to be a part of that community, and I want to be able to kind of, work with them. And that was just kind of the first rev. Long term, we want that to have a lot more meaning. So we want to have things like, a competitive guild v guild aspect, whereby and I am, by the way, signing checks right now, and I can hear Dave down in San Mateo.
I mean, if you say it on the stream, it happens.
It happens, right?
So if we get some hype for a raise for me in the chat, he has to do it.
So at any rate,
I'll kick it back. 5% of whatever he promises to me in the form of a raise goes back to chat.
So at any rate, what we want to do is we basically want to create a bunch more meaning towards it. So from guild rewards to kind of guild competition, and kind of have more of a what I like to call co-opetition moment, where you being in a guild has a bunch of meaning, and the effort and the work that it takes to maintain that social group is really shows through. I always kind of talk about that moment in, for example, like old school WoW, where there was that like a Nixia kill moment where you're like, man, my guild just did it, right? And like how good it felt, and we want to start trying to get that back.
Yeah, well, because you and I have played a lot of WoW together.
We have.
And I know that one of the things we were talking about with the last expansion, and this is not a knock against Blizzard, I think that they've done amazing work, but it was like, okay, we just need to join a guild that has all the perks so that we can get the gold and the mount speed and the group revive, and then you kind of find yourself in a spot where maybe you don't really feel like you're part of a guild, you're just getting those things. And so what I'm hearing is we want something that's more involved, we want something more social. I think that's awesome.
I mean, skill has always been a really core component to this game. Like, we often get feedback that the game is a bit on the hard side, and we try and toe a line or we try and walk a very we don't want Dark Souls, I really don't want to oh god, but it should, it should still feel very meaningful and very impactful when you defeat a behemoth. And I want to take that to another level when, as a group, when you start doing things together, that that group effort really shows through. And the really cool part is and if you've been playing it since closed beta, we are super invested in constantly making additions, and so this is just kind of the next rev.
So what you're saying is that the Dauntless friends list is the Dark Souls of friends lists. Is that what?
because you don't know whether or not your friends are on the line.
It's hard mode, dude. It's I mean, like, do you want it? Are they your friends or are they not your friends? Okay, great. So a lot of other questions from this person that I think we kind of talked about. We're going to move on from that person only because I want to share the love. One of the questions we've seen here is, I mean, I think that one of the questions we get all the time is, right now we've got 5 weapons. The most recently added one is the Warpike. What can we look forward to with weapons in the future?
Yeah, so weapons are at the end of the day, we want to have many more weapons in the game. I think we want to add them at like the general thought process to how we think about weapons is we basically do a big kind of we do a leveling of all of the weapons, and then we added the pike, and then now we're back in the process of like rebalancing everything, adding a bunch of new functionality, and then Weapon 6 is definitely a conversation that happens very, very, very regularly with myself and Chris Fox and the other guys on the combat team. There are definitely going to be a Weapon 7, Weapon 8, Weapon 9. Plans are happening,
and one of those will be ranged.
Hopefully, it will be a harp bow.
God, no. Well, it's been real. I'm out. You're good. You do it.
We did it.
You have fun.
We did it.
Nope, all you.
We did it, Reddit.
That heart bow is killing me. That heart bow is killing me. Well, ranged weapon canceled. Yeah, no, but there will be a ranged weapon. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think one of the things we've talked about with the ranged weapon is that we want all the weapons in Dauntless to be challenging. We want them to be visceral. We don't want anyone kind of just standing on the peripheral feeling safe. So it's going to be a ranged weapon, but maybe with a twist that I think will be really exciting.
One of the things you're going to see too, we talked a little bit. You talked about that we're putting some new islands in the game right now. We're kind of making the islands feel a bit tighter. And so in the current set of islands, one of the things that if we put in just a straight like long range sniper type weapon, that would be like very, very, very effective. And as the game kind of moves into a little bit more like favoring close quarters, and as the encounters continue to improve in that kind of close quarter space through things like destructible terrain and that kind of stuff, we'll start seeing more of an opportunity. And like the environment will also, we'll see more of an opportunity to push the players closer to the behemoths, and then at the same time, range becomes a much more visceral experience, and so we can start then, really modeling the type of ranged behavior that we want, which should still feel very, very impactful, and not feel like you're just like nerfing an encounter. Like we really want, again, all of those encounters to be really. The right amount of difficult rather, and often if we were to like, for example, just throw, Shrike into the middle of an open plain, and then you give like a sniper type weapon. Next thing you know, we have to balance Shrike to be throwing the blasts, like his kind of air swipes all the time, and that's not
going to pan out. Yeah. And speaking, you mentioned the destructible environment.
Yes.
The first time that you try to hide behind a tree and Embermain decides that that's not happening.
That was fun. Yeah, so funny story that we had a really an interesting play test. So we've been working on destructible environments for a while now, and I was not told by the folks that are doing the environments team that we had turned it on. So I'm like playing away and like doing my thing, and then I like roll up. And I think it was Embermain, and oh yeah, no, it was totally Embermain. So like I roll up and like I get hit and I go back behind a tree to pot, and then he just comes right the fuck through the trees, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, just flattens me out, and it's like, oh, okay, hey, I hear it's on. Okay,
it's working. Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's perfect. Keep, by the way, guys, if you guys are watching and you have questions in chat, go ahead, just post those up, tag the PlayDauntless account, and Brad can pipe those through to us too. So if we're seeing great questions in the chat, we can do that. More questions about new weapons. Yeah, I mean, I think one of the main questions that we get when we go to a convention, one of the main questions we get kind of in general is just, what did we think of Monster Hunter World? What did we learn from it?
Oh, great question. So
we should preface this by saying, how many hours did you?
Oh, several hundred now.
Yeah, because I know you were rocking.
I'm HR 153.
Yeah, because we had a boys' weekend, and you came in, hung out. We did a LAN party and had mani-pedis, and I think
I put you to bed, and like you were just like, I'm done, and I'm like, cool, I'm going.
It's like, you just give him, Jesse. It's 1 a.m.
Yeah, I very much like Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter World's been a really cool experience for us as a company. I mean, one, it's been hugely successful. Congratulations to Capcom.
Yeah,
they've
really great work.
An amazing game. I love it.
Yep. Shout out to my boy Yuri.
And the cool thing is it's really introduced the hunting action genre to a lot more people.
Yeah.
That has been awesome for us as kind of a validation. Like, when we started this, it was a labor of love towards kind of a very niche.
4 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Towards a very niche genre, and now we're seeing that genre is actually not that niche. And I mean, this community has proven it. Like, I never thought that we would reach nearly 1 million signups. It's
crazy, right?
We did it, right? Like, it's super cool, right? And it's been really validating for us. It's been really, it's been great to see where they're going with the franchise, and it's cool to see kind of us, the two products having a nice differing space within the genre. So
cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think another question that we got a lot of was, so when, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, when you're out on the islands and you're smacking little rams around.
Yeah. Don't smack Benson.
No, Benson's the good boy.
No.
But sometimes there are the bad men rams.
Yes.
Are there any plans for other fauna or things you might encounter out there?
Yeah, so we've had kind of secondary monsters or secondary behemoths and kind of what we call fauna as an important part of what the overall island experience will be, kind of in the backlog for a while. I don't think we're going to do it right away. Like, we're really focused. We still want to focus more on kind of tightening up and kind of creating the next generation of islands right now. And then once we start to kind of progress past that, I think we're going to start seeing more, call it mobile interactive moments.
Yeah.
So like, we're doing a bunch of work, like there's a bunch of stuff that's not in the blogs that, are kind of, like there's a bunch of work that's been done on gatherables and stuff like that. We're still kind of in the kind of gatherable space, and before we start getting into kind of what does secondary encounters look like.
Gotcha.
And I think that the realm of possibility space is actually really interesting there. I think we could do things like, from horde type encounters where there's like, 50 little Drasks running around and zapping you. Or we could go to the other end where, they largely exist similar to how they are now, but they're maybe a bit more aggressive. One of the things I don't want to do though is create a fauna type that is just annoying.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
No anti-fun.
Yeah, right. And that's a big thing that we talk about a lot here. And one of the reasons that we haven't pushed a lot further is like, what I don't want to do is like, you're fighting Shrike or whatever, and then all of a sudden a ram comes up and just bops you, and you're like, oh, fuck off.
Like, what am I doing?
I do not want anybody doing the like roll eyes F-bomb.
Right.
While, because they just got hit by something that's not actually interesting gameplay. Like, interrupted gameplay often is not fun unless it's something that you can actually interact with. Yeah. And so, we're kind of just slowly getting our way through there, and that's kind of our plan.
Yeah, well, and I think one of the things that's really, really exciting about Dauntless, and if you're in the chat, you have this huge opportunity right now, and because I think like if you listen to what Jesse's saying, it's really about experimenting. It's really about no pun intended, an open horizon. It's about an opportunity to figure out what works, what doesn't work, what's fun, what's not fun, and the way the game works is, and part of the reason the game is set up the way it is with the floating islands that move around, not only because that's cool, but because it gives us a way to introduce and pull back elements and work on them and then put them back in. So if you're in the closed beta, if you're going into the open beta, you have a huge opportunity. Your feedback, more than any studio I've ever worked with, and it was part of why I came to work with Phoenix Labs, community is so important to what we do. Feedback is so important to what we do. You guys really, really have an opportunity to change the game.
Yeah, totally. We actually, like, one of the really, we did a big survey a couple of weeks ago where we just picked a couple of thousand random folks who were playing in the beta recently to give us a bunch of island feedback. And I can tell you with absolute certainty that the island team read literally every single comment and had made changes based on that for what's coming in open beta already. And a lot of it's already made its way in. It's really cool to have that loop. And it's one of the things that I love about being, you know, a reasonably small, like call it a mid-size indie or like a small indie studio.
What are we at now?
We are 60 folks. And
which is really, for anyone's reference, like that is small. It's big for us.
It's big for us. Yeah, we you know, we originally tried to ship this game with about 30 folks, and then people liked it, and it's a big, and we added a lot more to the game.
Well, and we had a lot of amazing, talented people that we were excited to work with show up.
Totally. And it's, you know, so the growth has been really great. You know, it's a really super senior team. Oh God, it's crazy. The quality of the
I think on average, most people that are at Phoenix have been in the industry for about 10 years.
10 plus years, yeah. With a couple of exceptions, everybody here has been in the industry at least 7 years or more.
Yeah, it's crazy. So. It's pretty crazy. Awesome. How are you doing on time, by the way? I know you're a busy boy.
I'm good. Yeah,
you're good?
All right. Let's do it.
Keep hanging out. All right. So I think one of the really great questions we had was about we already kind of covered guilds and things. And I talked about this a little bit earlier, and you've talked about it too, but like when we talk about the game getting hard, when we talk about people who, you know, are at the top of what we consider to be Dauntless performance, who are exceptional slayers, what kind of challenges are we going to throw at these guys?
Oh, wow. Okay, so you know, we've talked a little bit. You know, we've kind of got the first layer in there of like the dire behemoths. That's kind of the first thing that we want to do. We've talked a bunch about more and more kind of modifications to it. The team loves it when I start using terms like machine learning and like learning from the mistakes.
This is how you get Skynet, Jesse.
This is also how I like get like fake snowballs thrown at me at the office regularly.
Those are handy to have, by the way. I'm surprised none have come flying in here.
You know, I think, you know, we've also kind of scratched the surface a little bit with dual behemoth encounters. We've also talked a lot about like more like serial encounters, whereby not being able to come back to Ramsgate right away, as an example, and starting to look at, you know, how do we potentially get into a phase where, you know, you have to do a lot more preparation ahead of time. You know, then kind of more different encounter types. So things like, you know, different things that can happen on an island. Like imagine like a poisonous bog area, that kind of thing. And so, you know, I think we'll continue to see a lot more, you know, layering of interesting gameplay effects, and then, you know, while still kind of broadening out what the behemoths can do. Like you'll notice, like, you know, we continue to add a lot more gameplay variety to the behemoths every single time that we, you know, go and touch them. Like, you know, Shrike just got a whole bunch more moves, and like Shrike's like one of the first behemoths we ever made. It was actually the second behemoth we ever made, and you know, we continue to invest back, like, because one of the things that we're learning is you know, there's almost no limit to the width that we can make a behemoth, and you know, that then creates another bunch of opportunities where we can, you know, do mix and matches, or, you know, maybe one of the things that Reed and I have talked a lot about, and, you know, it's not necessarily a good idea because it's my idea, which therefore generally makes it a bad idea, just so that we're all clear, is like, you know, make a very wide move set and then custom move sets based on an encounter, that kind of thing for each behemoth. And so you never know necessarily what you're going to get. So I don't know if any of that's actually going to
but this is the way we think about it, which I think is awesome. And I want to, you know, obviously I work here, and so this is, you know, for whatever. But I think it's so inspiring to work with a group of people that are willing to have open conversations with a community like this. Like, it's, you know, every day when I log on and we look at our friends over at Digital Extremes who are making Warframe, who I really feel like do community right and have interactions. You know, it's inspiring. And when we see, you know, maybe some people are falling down a little bit, and just knowing that we're committed to doing what's right for our community is just so rewarding. So I'm really happy about that. I have another question here that I can answer, but Jordan, if you're listening, if you can make your way over to the camera real quick, I can answer this question as soon as you get over here. Let's see here.
There was an important one about from you and Reed.
Well, that's the question.
How do you keep your memes so spicy?
I need.
Oh, you need Jordan for that?
I need Jordan for that. I'll show you. Okay. In the meantime, will there be Southeast Asian servers?
Great question. So the way we actually think about, so we don't want to create like right now, if you're playing in the game, there's like a drop down of where like the data center is for which the game servers live, and so to get into a little deeper into kind of the back end of how we would how more than I normally would talk. We normally.
Keep going.
So we basically host our own. So when you play, it's not peer-to-peer. We actually host the game server.
Hi, Jordan. This is Jordan. If you've ever filed a support ticket, Jordan made it work. Really quickly, just to splice in, can you show me the spice face? Can you give me so spicy? Ooh.
That's how we keep the spicy.
If that's not a global emote, very soon I'm gonna be very upset.
I need Twitch staff in chat.
Yeah, it needs to be a global emote. But this is the boy helps me keep it spicy. All right. You go answer those tickets.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
So yeah, we basically made the decision early on that we wanted to always ensure the best possible game experience, and we didn't want to have things like weird router problems and all this other stuff. So we decided to centrally host everything. And so as part of that, right now in the game, you say, okay, I'm playing in North America or Europe or Australia, and so we basically have 3 data centers in the world where the game servers live. In the very, very short near future, we're going to be spreading that out to be much more regionally accessible, so that there's going to be lots and lots and lots of game servers, and we're also going to remove the need for you to select where it goes, and the game's just going to kind of understand which data center will give you the best possible experience.
So like if there's an outage somewhere, or I move, or something,
exactly,
or like Time Warner goes down, not that they ever do, then you can then it just routes you.
Yes, exactly. And the idea being that then, if you're, say, in Australia, like let's say I want to play with Brad, it will find the best possible server for Brad.
You just rotate your computer upside down,
go like this.
Yeah, and then you can play with Brad all you want.
And
so you'll be able to play with anyone in the world.
Yeah, so the idea being we want everybody to be able to play together. We want to try and find the best possible, lag-free scenario. And so like if you're in Southeast Asia, ideally you're playing on servers that feel really good.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I love to talk about is there's a young lady, I can't remember her name right now, but she tweets at us probably about once a week and says, hey, where's the server? And I think it really just goes to show like how dedicated we are to the community, that I every time she tweets at us, I send it to the network engineering team and be like, and not to like poke them and be like, hey, get it in gear, but just be like, hey guys, don't forget, like, people are counting on us. Like, people are excited to play our game. And so
before you go on to the next question, I just want to call out my boy Quenchist. You actually have to come to the studio to get this shirt.
Yeah, come on down
if you want one, buddy.
Come on down. Yeah, surely.
For the community's knowledge, Quenchist and I also live several blocks from each other. Just happens to be. He snubbed me there too. Don't worry.
It's really nice. It's charming. Cool. One of the other questions I'm seeing is, so we did 2 events kind of early on. We had Frostfall, and we had, I'm a bad community manager. What was our Halloween style event? Was the...
wow, now...
and you're a bad CEO. This is a track of Dark Harvest.
Dark Harvest, thank you.
Yeah. It's just, when you go, the closer I get to open beta, the more of a blur this just becomes.
It's kind of like working in a casino.
Yeah. I've heard, by the way, I heard someone talking the other day about this thing called sleep. Have you heard of this?
I get about 3 of those a day.
Yeah, I heard it's great.
Count them in hours.
I heard it's great. So we had, as chat likes to say, the Dank Harvest and Frostfall. Can we look forward to more events in the future?
Yeah, for sure. So when we did those original events, we wanted to basically see, do folks really like having kind of a different type of context and moment in the game when they're playing? And so, we wanted to do a couple of smaller ones early off to make sure that we were kind of going off in the right direction. And then, we've kind of largely doubled down on getting the game into a more stable state and getting some more features in and filling out some more stuff. So that's why we haven't done kind of another big one since Frostfall. But I would absolutely expect to see a whole bunch more. We had this actually kind of cool floor powwow yesterday, myself and C4, the design director, and Billy, the live producer.
And why C4?
Oh, C4 is C4 because he was the 4th Chris to be hired. Because welcome to our generation, male names tend to be Chris, and so we had Chris Bouzon, who's our QA lead, was the first, and then C4 was the 4th Chris to get hired.
What, is 6 now?
We are 5 with Chris Velasco, who's our composer, who technically came before, but we always count him last for some reason.
Yeah. Which by the way, he recently was in Bucharest?
Bucharest.
To do a live recording of the Dauntless soundtrack.
Yes.
Which is amazing. And we're actually working on how to get that to Slayers that want it in a really high fidelity version. And I have it on good authority that you're going somewhere pretty cool tomorrow.
I am going to Skywalker Ranch to mix it with Rob Blake, our audio director, and I've broken this chair.
Oh, well.
The diet is obviously not working.
There's just so much. There's so much hype.
There's so much hype that literally this chair is now.
Yeah, the crushing weight of the hype.
So I'm going to Skywalker Ranch with Rob to have it mixed on Saturday, which is like a big, huge. It's a pretty cool moment.
It's pretty cool.
It's gonna be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
so
that's very exciting. What are we doing? I have a question here. Looking good is obviously the most important part of any game. What are we doing for style hunters? What are we doing for boys that like to look fancy?
We are. That is. So we should actually probably talk more in depth about kind of style hunting and.
We got transmog coming in.
Yeah. So we got. I mean, we definitely have a lot more stuff coming from kind of an overall just aesthetic optimism. Like, you know, if I'm a player, I'm going to want to be able to find more kind of ways of personalizing.
Yeah.
And so we have a bunch more stuff coming in there. We're really rethinking how the old Style Hunter buff works. I can't remember if we've talked about that yet.
I don't know that we did.
Yeah, we're kind of right at the tail end.
There's a lot of stuff in flux, and I think the point of it is just that a lot of the new systems we're putting in place in terms of progression, in terms of cells, in terms of armor bonuses, and then throwing transmog in the mix. There are so many choices for Slayers to make with how to make their builds. We don't want to necessarily disrupt that with style. So as we internally solidify those systems, then we can start to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, what we want to do is make sure that you as a player get to look and feel the way that you want to other folks.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're going to keep finding new ways of doing that, whether it's through, you know, new kind of ways of dyeing. Like, you know, we want to potentially add more areas that you can dye. We want to do, transmog is in. I transmogged this morning on the not-web ranch.
What did you transmog?
I may have transmogged into an armor set that the test armor set for the crew. So. As Ian talked about earlier, we have basically, and if you helped us during the outage, like during the kind of the May 2nd to May 22nd wipe, there's
closed beta plus.
The closed beta plus, Turbo Plus.
Yeah. Turbo Plus Alpha Edition, second strike.
There's some cool stuff. There's some cool stuff that you get, and I may have equipped it because it's cool. And then I dyed it orange.
Yeah. I think one of the questions we're getting from the chat here is it hard not to leak? Like.
Dude, it is so hard not to leak. So, like, anecdotally, like, I receive a strong helping of shit from the team every time that I basically tweet anything.
It keeps us young. It keeps us healthy.
I'm just trying to take these gray hairs and give them to them. Yeah. So
someone could just like clip the light fading from my eyes. That would be great.
I mean, at the end of the day, it is super hard to not leak. For one, I don't have a giant legal team that gets angry at me anymore.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And then on the other end of it, like there's just so much cool stuff, and like being able to we have a bunch of internal communication channels that show the work that the team is doing, and I personally maybe it's not a good thing, but I personally get really proud of all that effort.
Oh yeah, how can you not?
And like I get to see this stuff really early, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to show everybody because it's so fucking cool.
If I had $1 for every time I'd run up to someone and been like, can I tweet it? Can I tweet it? Can I tweet it? Can I tweet it? I'm like.
He's better than I am because he actually asks.
Yeah, Jesse's like, I tweeted it. It's like, oh!
You came in the morning and your work wasn't ready to show. It was like on the internet. Woo!
Yeah, woo! Yeah, but I mean, it is. Like you said,
Ty.
No, like you said, we originally our kind of trajectory was we're going to ship with around 30 people. We're up to 60. Hands down, the most talented group of people I've ever worked with.
Me as well.
And it is shocking what sometimes you come in the morning and someone's like, "Yo, I had an inspiration." And sometimes I got to say too, sometimes it's like, "Oh, I was in the Discord. I was talking to people. I had this genius strike." And look, now here's this new amazing feature. It's like, whoa, right?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, flares were that, as an example.
Yeah.
You know, one day, roll in, and Doug, the VFX artist, was like, I put flares in the game.
Yeah.
And we're like, what are flares? And he's like, check it out. And we're like, oh.
Yeah. And then we learned something about trademark law.
Yes.
Turns out the dick butt symbol, trademarked.
Totally trademark. Also ESRB, not friendly. So
yeah, that's fun when you do your ESRB application. It's like also
no
dick butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think we have to be respectful of your time, so I will leave you with the question, one of my favorite questions. I hope everyone that participates in the live stream gets a chance to share a little bit about themselves. Jesse,
Yes.
if you could have written any book, what book would you have written?
Oh, Neuromancer.
Ooh!
Yeah.
That's a good one. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so that kind of like the opening paragraph about like the sky being you know, the shade of like a TV tuned to no channel. Probably one of the most like seminal things that I've ever read, and really changed how my perspective on what world building looks like. And I mean, it's, you know, it's cyberpunk, right? So it's kind of amazing.
Sure.
And I still, you know, I really want to plug the internet directly into the back of my neck.
What can go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Yeah.
You do not want to have perspective of what happens.
I think the scary thing is not only would the internet go into you, but you would then go directly into the internet.
Yes, that's the real scary. I can take it all, and you just don't want to.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, it needs to be a one-way street.
Yeah, and you know, like I think it really changed. You know, it created. It was, you know, part of a really early movement on creating a new type of science fiction, which I find really interesting. And you know, I think it started a lot. And you know, if I could, as somebody who actually should never write anything.
I think you're a good writer.
Gonna disagree with you there, sir.
You do pretty well.
We have much better people like
we do
yourself
have
and Corey.
We do have some
Kate,
phenomenal
who are
writers.
Significantly better writers than I am.
Yeah.
You know, if I could only hope to introduce a new type of genre to the world, I think that would be really cool.
That is really solid. All right, my dude.
All right, brother.
Thank you for coming on.
My pleasure.
Get back to the grindstone. And we'll see you around next time.
Goodbye, friends.
Thanks for bringing Benson.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, cool. All right, guys, get some hype in the channel for Jesse as he heads back to his desk so he can enjoy that. If you have any other questions for Jesse, if you have any other questions that we can answer on the stream, just go ahead and get those in that subreddit, get those on the forums, get those in tweets, and we'll do a follow-up. So we're probably looking at doing these about once a month. I think now is the part of the show. Again, if you have questions as we go ahead, get those in the chat. Brad will pipe those over to me so that I don't have to start it. But I thought we would get some hunting in. What would a Dauntless stream be without some actual Dauntless? So if you would like to join me on the hunt, we're going to go over to our handy-dandy version of Dauntless, and I'm going to log in so you guys can't see my password because that's super secret. You get dev hacks if you do that. But if you guys would like to play with me on the live stream, go ahead, do maybe like hashtag playalong, PLAYALONG, with your Dauntless screen name. And I can grab some of you guys, make sure that you're in the game, make sure that you're in Ramsgate. Again, we don't have the, I think you have to be, make sure that if you're doing hashtag play along that you include your Dauntless username, and we'll work on it to get you guys in, and we'll go on some hunts together. So let's get this puppy over to the game. And of course, I am rocking my Skarn armor. Skarn, probably one of my favorite behemoths, and we'll just start adding some friends to my friends list to hunt along with. We got Kogath coming along. Let's bring along Cephalard. Add friend. Could not add. Oh no, I got the username wrong. Oh, Cephalad. Got him. Oh, like Cool. All right, good. Could not add. Oh, well. Nothing's fair in this world. Xeron Reloaded. Let's add that good boy. There we go. We got that. And we're going to need one more. Oh, we got to bring Widow. Guys, by the way, get some Widow hype in the chat. Widow, been a fantastic contributor to the Dauntless forums. Been providing awesome feedback since day, I want to say 1. He's been around for a long time. And I see, by the way, we got Revy here getting the dance. If you are in Ramsgate, even if you're not coming on this next hunt, You know, let's get a little dance party going. Let's just get that dance party going. Like, why not, right? All right, let's get Kogath in here. Perfect. And then get my boy Widow in here. Yeah, get my boy Xeron in here. All right. Let's get that dance party going, folks. Let's just we're just gonna groove. We're gonna just keep it grooving, keep it moving over towards the steps. So chat real quick. I'm gonna run over to the hunt board and we'll see what hunts are available to us. So probably heading over to the Yonder Keys. And I don't have, oh, we can do a Drask. We'll do a Drask. So get some Drask hype. Dance party over here. Actually, let's go show Benson. Let's go show Benson what our sick Slayer moves are like. And before we do that, I think we're also gonna see how our oh, this is, you hate to see that. Our friend not doing well here, looking a little rough, a little down and out. But he will be okay while we go hunting. I'm sure that he's got enough to keep him busy. By the way, if there's a part of Dauntless that you're excited about, like if you're excited about the layout of the cities, if you're wondering, you know, how do we get this gorgeous wood grain into the game, if you have questions about, you know, why things are where they are, if you have questions about how the animations happen, you guys can absolutely make requests about, you know, the things that you want to see in the game, and we will we can bring the developers that actually work on those things onto the live stream. So if you have questions about how the game comes together, if you want those people to be interviewed, either if there's someone by name or him. Oh, good. I'm about to get whisper spammed. Please be good. Keep it clean. Thank you. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. All right, so we got our dance party going up here. Keep that dance party warm by Lord Benson, and we'll keep it hot. But yeah, so if you guys have questions about a specific system, if you have questions about a specific part of the game, you know, don't be shy. Share that out on the Discord, on Reddit, on Twitter, and what we'll do is we will try to get those people on to be interviewed. Like, I think just the thing that made me think of it right is just look at Ramsgate. Like, what an amazing place, what an amazing city, and you know, someone has to actually go out and figure out, okay, you know, what does wood look like in this game? We'll get you next time, Sephralard. Here, we'll get you invited. You'll go on the next hunt because I messed that up. Sephralard. There we go. Yay. Okay, we'll get you for the next one. Someone actually, you know, has to skin all these things. Someone has to place the buildings. The placement of the buildings is actually based on your feedback, and so, you know, every little thing you see in the game, you know, the sounds that get made, the textures that go in, the animations that happen, you know, even what happens to your feedback, what happens when you file a bug. That's all something that someone specifically works on and owns, and so we can bring those people on to talk to you guys about that stuff. Let's just go get Drask. Let's just do it. All right. Have a good time. Thank you, Sephralad. Thank you for that wonderful compliment. I'm glad that you love the game. It means a lot. Bringing our good boys in. Oh, Widow just splashing the shroud armor. All right, well, we might make short work of this Drask, but we'll have a good time regardless. And as I mentioned, I like to bring the axe down. Got my staggers in here. Stagger build for life. So, like I said, guys, we're going to be completely overhauling the cell system. It's going to be amazing. I think it takes the best of your feedback and some new ideas, really blending it together, really making a system that will allow you to focus your builds, have multiple builds, and adapt to different situations. Again, like you know, the feedback that we got that people want to be able to remove cells and resocket them, that's feedback we took to heart. So your feedback really does make a huge difference. Cool. Ooh, we're going into Spoop Island here. A little rain never hurt anyone, especially if you're from the Pacific Northwest. This is just liquid sunshine, folks. Oh, with the classic snowfall. This is a good team. I can already feel it. I can already feel it. We're gonna win. We got this one in the bag, folks. We're about to go esports, or as they say in the old country, espuerta. All right, good looking crew. Let me see those flares. Let me see what everyone's rocking here. We got, boom, big Phoenix Labs flare. All right. Oh, with that alpha cred, with that rep. We got that. I believe that's, is that the T-Rex? And the Kogath, the custom flares, folks. Gotta love it, gotta love it. Yeah, don't forget, if you are a streamer yourself, we're going to be readmitting people, or we're going to be adding new people to the Dauntless Partner Program as we go into open beta. If you've applied and you haven't heard back, I'm sorry. I'm working to get those applications processed as quickly as we can. Widow, right out of the blocks, throwing up those big numbers. Big three, yeah! Big 3-digit numbers. It would have been really embarrassing if in the very first encounter on the Dauntless live stream that the thing that I did got hit. It didn't take long. Didn't take long for me to get smashed. It's like walking and chewing bubblegum. Can I talk and play this game at the same time? Spoiler, I can do it. I'm basically super esports. I just don't want to make Widow feel too bad about his skills here. But we're going to get in there, building up that axe charge, and by building up that axe charge, I mean getting smashed. I think one of the things that's really great is that when we look at the weapon systems, when we look at the different weapons, it's not just about, oh, I'm so close, I'm so close. There we go. One more. There we go. It's not just about, you know, what combos are gonna work. It's also about, you know, what is the aesthetic of the weapon, right? Like, what is the fantasy behind an axe? And that's part of how we got having the super armor feature in there, is that, you know, you want to hit hard, you don't want to have to compromise, and that makes it possible. Also, guys, let's get some hype in the chat for our boy Lazy Rico. He's been streaming Dauntless lately. He's in here hanging out. He's got those custom emotes. He looks beautiful. And he also, by the way, if you're looking for a closed beta key and you can't quite get, I can't quite get one from the chat, Rico can hook you up. He's got keys. He's giving them away on his stream. And always a pleasure to see that gentleman. And got to see him at PAX East. It was always great. Got a question here in chat. What bonuses are you getting if you played in the alpha? So oh, for alpha, I believe you get the alpha flare. If you were in the alpha and you didn't get that flare, send a note to help at PHX. Oh, the interrupt. Oh no, that wasn't the interrupt. I think that was Widow just eating it. It is a little, I got reading chat and playing at the same time is a little tricky. I'm not gonna go down. I'm not gonna go down, guys. We're not going down. We gotta stay up no matter what happens. There we go. All right. Aether charge. How are we doing on health? Yeah, these guys are much more geared than my character. When you do the playtesting and stuff, you have to wipe your character quite a bit. So my character is unfortunately not leveled up. Hype for the big hit. Hype for the big hit. Going up a power band, bringing some big numbers down. Got a little greedy. Well, Espuerta dream stomped. Espuerta dream stomped. Kogath, I know you can hear me. Get me if you can give me a dream stomped flare with the BM, from Reloaded here. I love it. I love the BM. It's awesome. Okay, well, we got to flee, so we're still doing very well on danger. We're not looking too bad. We'll pick up the Drask hide, grab some gatherable materials, and keep a little swamp crest. You know, I find at the end of a long day, if I am planning on working out later, and I'm feeling a little drained, a little swamp crest and some vinaigrette. Very good. Very, very good. Not too heavy. You know, a little iron in there gives you the boost you need to really hook it on, and it's healthy. It's healthy. You know, you got to take care of yourself. You only get one body. It's important. These are tips for life, folks. These are tips for life. All right, here we go. We got Widow getting in there. A little body block there by Widow. Feels bad, man. I do not want anything to do with this. All right, now we gotta watch out for the triple blast. One of the first things, Drask actually, I believe, was the first behemoth we had, and so one of the very first things I was tasked with at my first day was to solo Drask, and he's gotten a little tougher since then. He's gotten a few more moves since then. He used to have infinite. Oh, embarrassing! Can I get another dream stomped here, Gath? I know. Look, I love just the look of Gath, just like, put my sword away. Come over. More BM. Loving the BM. Super solid. If you would have got hit by that Drast Blast, oh, with the Razor, ooh, with that beautiful Razor banner. By the way, if you guys want that Razor banner, our friends at Razer have that. I believe that you automatically get that if you make a purchase with Z Gold. I can double check on that for you guys if you have questions, if you're a big Razer fan. And I believe they do giveaways sometimes on those too. Here we go, here we go, here we go. This is just sad, guys. Should have stuck with the chain blades. I'm a little disappointed that we haven't got the tail sever yet, though. I feel like we could probably focus that tail a little bit more here. Bring down those big hits. And say I love this. I love the big overhead swing here because you got to build that meter up. You got to keep building that meter. And all that really matters is that I didn't go too slow to lose my meter. So we get that big hit in here. Get our airdrop coming. There we go. There's that sever. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Get my little health drop. Placeholder asset there, of course. Ooh, got lucky. That went into the ground. Okay, we got to hurry. We don't want to lose our axe charge here. We got to get in there. We're losing charge. Yeah, I did it. That was me. Second level axe charge, folks. What's up? Can we get some hype in the chat for Reloaded, Widow, and Kogath for a wonderful hunt? Again, guys, if you wanna come hunting. Oh, an E rank. Oh God. Oh, that's not what you'd hope for on your first hunt. Surely, no one will clip this. No clips on that. I can feel it. Everything's gonna be great. How many times did I go down? Well, you know, I think Mama Bear wants to know how many times I went down. I think the important thing to know. Yeah, E for esports. Thank you, Revy. Revy's coming on the next hunt. That's how you do it. Look, I'm not above flattery. I'm not above bribery. You want to come on the hunt, say something nice, be chill, you can come on the hunt, all right? Let's speak about that. At any rate, yeah, I think going on a couple more hunts here. I'll have some good time. A little espuerta. All right. I would probably rank that a 5 if I had to rank it. Jesse's watching. I got to rank it a 5. Oh, we got to get Dez. We got to get Dez in. And cool. And we'll get Revy. So thanks for coming along. Oh, boy. Of course, would not be a dev stream without some roof people pointing out our beautiful floating boy bugs. I love it. This is something that's going to get fixed soon. Actually, it was really interesting when people shared this with us because we thought we'd fixed it. We had not fixed it, and this actually gave us a huge opportunity to I gotta get Dez in here. Okay, it gave us a huge opportunity to find out what was causing the bug. So thanks to everybody who sent in your reports. Again, like when you guys send those bug reports in, we 100% use those to repro and use those to fix. It's very important. Kogath with the thank you. Yes, Kogath, you're very good at video game. And it was wonderful. We need to do another road trip, buddy. We need to get another road trip again. We had an opportunity to road trip up to PAX together one year. It was quite nice. Well, Reloaded, don't worry. We're going to fix the floating bug, but we will not fix the, probably, we've been talking about, do we want to let people on roofs, and what we discovered is not about what we want. It's about the fact that, some people can't be confined to the ground. I think we said we're going to bring along Revy, I believe. So we got to do that. Got to bring our good Revy along. And Widow with the BM, I love it. And you know what? We got to bring along Vilrain. By the way, if you guys have been on the Dauntless forums, can we get some thank you, some hearts in the chat for our boy Vilrain. Vilrain, who helps us moderate the forums. Of course, Troll was with us from day one. Troll taking a little personal time, getting a few things squared away. I'm sure I'll be back. But Vilrain has been our forum moderator now for quite some time. I want to say almost at least a year. And really helps to pass along a lot of the feedback that we use, really helps to keep the forum civil. Could not do it without him. So a thank you from all of us at Phoenix Labs and, of course, in the chat for Vilrain. Really appreciate it. Look at that. We got a little toasty drink from Fatal to thank Vilrain. This one's for you. All right. Yonder Keys. Let's create a new pursuit. What should we go after, chat? Let me know. What are we going after? We got Drask, we got Scrave, Embermane, Nasher, Shrike. What are we looking to take down? Let me know in the chat. While we're doing that, let me know if there are any other questions. Yeah. Dark Ray wants to know how you would get the Razor Flare and Sigil without using Z-Gold. Drop a line over to the probably like the Razor Twitter account and ask them. They might be doing a giveaway right now, and we can let you know as well too. So, Moonreaver. Oh, good. After my E for Espuerta performance, I'm sure Moonreaver will go well. I don't even know if I'm geared for Moonreaver. We're definitely going to have to make sure that I'm going to go see if I can upgrade my armor at all. Oh boy, and we are short on Potangs too. Do not want to go in without Potang. All right, let's do it. All right, shout out to Squidmo X, who is in the chat, by the way. That is our wonderful, sweet, strangely ethical marketing guy, who I've known for a long time. He and I worked at EA together. That's right, good people work at EA, don't forget it. And okay, we're max level on the axe, and does a lot of work to bring you guys previews and items and put the trade shows together and stuff. So a lot of love for our boy Nick. Let's see here. No, we're gonna die. Oh well, we'll have fun.
Keep your eyes open.
I get carried. All right, let's get our potions in a pile, and then we can take off. Yeah, again, guys, the live stream is really for you guys. We did this because enough of you guys asked, and we're looking to probably do them monthly right now, and we can do them more frequently based upon how often you guys want to do it. So, if you guys want to see, I've been bad. I have not been good about gathering my resources that I need. Oh boy. Oh, we don't need those. Let's be honest. Bulk crafting. That's something that's coming. By the way, I know that's something that is very often requested. Shock resistance potion is not going to do us any good. I'm a big greedy boy, so I'm going to bring that stam potion along. It's going to be good.
That's the stuff. A good ship will always bring you home.
Okay. Oops. Wrong button. All right. Get my healing together. Oh, I have improved. Okay, we're good. And then we get my stamina potion. And then... Oh, I've still got my canned campfires. That's kind of weird. We'll go Team Revive. This will be a tricky one. And I don't know... Well, let's do that. That's fun. All right. Let's go get this Moonreaver, guys. Let's go get this Moonreaver. Yonder Keys, a Moonreaver Shrike Pursuit. Find our hunt with the party. Guys, we're going in. Let's get some hype in the chat for the Moonreaver takedown. Let's get some hype in the chat. In before Crash, E for Excellent, or C for Crash, or B for Best Crash NA, or A for Alpha Crash, or S for Scrash. I can feel it. I can feel it. No matter what happens, folks, I already won because I have the best paint. Got this Phoenix Labs paint, so no big deal. No big deal. No big deal in the chat. I can feel it. I can feel it. By the way, I'm loving this Kratos emote. That is a quality global emote. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, counting down. I can feel it. I can feel it. Got to crack the knuckles. That's the esports secret I learned on the circuit back in the day with the real pros. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Got the Razer mouse. See? Esports. Espuerta. It's important. All right, beautiful island. Hopefully we don't get tangled up in the thicket of trees over there. It is not fun to catch a wind blade while that's happening. Dark Harvest emotes right out the blocks. I love it. That's the dedication. That is one of my favorite emotes. I think having kind of more fun event emotes like that is definitely in the cards. Having more intro and animations that are inspired by events is the way to go. I am going to be sure to be good and actually get my gatherables so that I can actually make the potions. I need to. All right. Beautifulville, here we go. Oh, it was a Dez. That was a Dez one. See, dreams do come true. Shout out to Dez, by the way, for being one of our founding and best members of our Discord community. Guys, if you are not in the Dauntless Discord, I got to say, probably one of the best, as objective as I can be, probably one of the best Discord communities online. Just a group of people that really cares about each other, a group of people who are dedicated to making the game better. If you're not already a part of it, then come hang out. Come hang out. Revy, there we go. Throw up that flare. Let's see the flares everyone's rocking. We got that alpha flare. Yeah, I believe this is the new Moonreaver. I believe I lose track of what's in the build sometimes, but I believe this is the new Moonreaver. Oh yeah, this one didn't because it was in the patch notes. So this is the newer Moonreaver. Twitch flare, solid choice. Yes. Oh, I didn't equip a cool one. That's okay. Sometimes, oh, nope, not gonna miss a chance to do this. Not gonna miss a chance to do this. Yes. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I probably just saw it and I wasn't paying attention. Sun got in my eyes. Are we on target? This boy. I should not be following Dez. Dez just wants to go flying off of geysers. This is serious business, folks. We got to save the world here. We can't just be mucking around. We gotta find this behemoth and take it down and save the world. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. If you're looking for one of those beta keys and you have not gotten one yet, go ahead and send a tweet to the PlayDauntless account and just be sure to hashtag it livestream key, LIVESTREAMKEY. Hashtag livestream key at PlayDauntless, and we will do our best to send a key to the first 100 people to do that. We'll have a good time. I have been busy talking about stream keys and have completely lost my party. Need a flare. Of course, I'm going to run behind this rock where I can't see the flare even if someone throws it up. That's the most important thing. See, these are the kinds of pro tips you get when you watch the Dauntless live stream. These are the things that only dev hacks can reveal to you. Okay, all right. Keeping an eye on the horizon, keeping that tree moving. Over there, a little bit of this tree bug. That's okay. We'll get that fixed. Oh, there he is. Yeah, look at it. I'm already contributing. See, this is just, see, okay. Let me give you the pro tip here. Look at how scenic this is. Look how cool that looks. I did that. That was me. If I had just run in there, like right out of the blocks, that wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have looked super cool. Like he still looks cool up close, but like that wide shot. Esports. All right, let's get it. Let's get these hits going. Oh man, he's so fast. He's so fast. That wind cutter is so brutal. Oh boy. Okay. Yep. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little scared to focus on getting my axe charge level up with the speed on this guy. But you know what? Oh man. Oh, he's so fast. We're gonna get our charge in where we can. Slowly build it over time. No. I am not brave enough to get the interrupt on that. Okay. Go, folks. Ah! Looked at chat for a split second, and that's what happens. Yeah, I was looking at chat. That's my new excuse. I'm actually, anytime I play any game now, I'm just gonna stream it so that I can blame chat for this. Boom! Dez and Crash with the synchronized bringing the blade down. What is up? What is up? See, this is the thing is if you use this repeat hammer blow combo, it's a great way to build. Oh, okay. It's a great way to build that meter up. Really get in there. set the hook. God, it's so terrifying. Those new midair moves. The animation is just gorgeous. I gotta say, guys. We have a team of people here who. Oops, wrong button. We have a team of people here who really, really dedicated to the art and craft of what they do, and really going the extra mile to bring you guys things like animations that just give you that chill up your spine. Look at those esports dodges. Look at those esport dodges. I don't know if anyone's got an air horn email, but I earned it and I want it in the chat. I need air horns for that. That is what I need. All right, let's get in here. Level 1 charge. No, we're not going to get greedy. We're not going to go for 3. We're just going to take what we can get. Use that mobile combo to stay light on our toes in case he decides to smash. Talk about not getting greedy and then just get real greedy. Just greed factor 5,000. We're bringing those slams down. That's what it's all about. Okay, all right. See, I got warmed up. We're getting esports here. See, the Jurassic, that is not my best work, but this Moon Reaver hunt is actually going pretty well, if I do say so myself. If you guys have more questions, by the way, don't be scared to post those up in chat. We did our Q&A section already, but if you have more questions that I can answer, be sure to share those. Brad can help route those to me. Yosh can help route those to me. Boom, big slams. Oh yeah. Good. See, giving people chances to show off the support elements of the game. It's very important. Very important. Cool. Shout out, by the way, guys. Cannot thank, if you guys are playing this game. So we talked a little bit about different servers around the world, and our commitment to having Dauntless being a worldwide game that you can play from anywhere extends just beyond server architecture. We're very passionate about letting people from around the world play, and that means localizing the game. Localizing is kind of a weird word. It basically boils down to, it's a little bit more than just translating it, but it kind of means translating. Localization is making sure that like it makes sense culturally and there aren't references that don't make sense and stuff like that. Yeah, what's up? Didn't even have to worry about the flea, folks. I'm sure it has nothing to do with Dez's shroud armor. It was all me. Let's get at least a B. I want at least a B. Oh, God. Oh, that's not what you'd hope for. That is not what you would hope for, folks. That is not what you'd really were thinking about. Drek cursed me with a D. Oh, guys. Yeah, D for Dauntless. D for Dynamic Combat. D for I just got some savage stink eye from someone off camera. That was really, really flavorful. Really tasty stuff. Anyway, as I was saying, guys, if you want to play, hashtag play along, or hashtag D for Dauntless, and I'll invite you to play, or I'll just run into you in Ramskate. But I do want to say, when we started localizing the game, when we started trying to figure out how to get the game into other languages, we started asking some of our community members, and a few of them offered to help us translate the game. And that has expanded into a volunteer community of translators who are helping us get the game into French, Italian, German, Spanish, Brazilian, Portuguese, and even more languages in the future. Guys, if you're part of the volunteer translation team, we cannot thank you enough for helping us bring this game to the rest of the world. It really means a lot to us, and thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, let's make sure. All right, so this was a solid team. Held it down, and now we can get our boy Sephrillard in here. Very important. Fatal Fatalis called me senpai, so he definitely gets an invite. There's just nothing worse than having someone watch you type. I for real, I feel like, no hit entire Dark Souls series run by the Hob. I'm receiving a very important message, which is Roof Boys for life. I confirm, Roof Boys for life. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, no hit Dark Souls run entire series. Pretty tricky, right? Speedrun Mario, pretty tricky. You want the hardest game on Twitch? Mario teaches typing. Like, the second anyone watches you type, you can't type anymore. Everyone knows this. I don't understand why people won't just sack up and do it and do hard games. All right, there's only one fair way to figure out who's going to go slaying with me, and that is that we're going to need to have just a dance-off. We're going to need to have a dance-off right here in Ramsgate. We're going to need to figure out who's coming with me. So get those moves going, folks. Just get those moves, folks. Karaza coming in, trying to use the senpai lever again. I'm not saying that the senpai move doesn't work. I'm just saying that, you know, I'm looking at Kettle here. Oh, look at these moves. Look at these moves. We got, look at, working arms, working the arms, working the arms. All right, Kettle, take it up a notch. Give me a new move here. Give me a new move. Still working the arms. I like that. I like that, though. That's good. You know what? It's good enough. It's good enough. It's good enough. I have two mice here. I have to not use the wrong mouse. All right, Kettle here. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Wonderful, beautiful. What's my quest right now, by the way? What am I supposed to kill? Stalk and slay a scrape. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Let's move the quest ahead. Let's make the I think that's a cat quest. Let's make cat happy. All right. Get my quests going. Core is going. Ooh, some good cells. Some solid cells. We got to keep the hype rolling. We don't have time. We don't have time, folks. Okay, we're going to the Yonder Keys. We're going to create a new pursuit. We're going to hunt a scrape. And we're going to go. We're going to get moving. All right, guys, let's get some hype in the chat for this upcoming hunt as we embark. And let's just get pumped. Let's get pumped to slay a scrave. All right, let's see if I can get something a little more fun for my banner. What do we got here, folks? Ooh, yes, that's quite nice. I like what I'm doing here. Yes. Fabric color, feeling good about the fabric color choice. Let's go for that orange-blue contrast. Let's complete the ensemble. And for the sigil, we could go Pax. But we're gonna rock the Phoenix Labs. And you know what? We're gonna go white. We're gonna really make it pop. Actually, you know what we're gonna do for our fabric here? You know what we're gonna do? Chat is we are gonna go green and yellow because go Ducks. If we got any Ducks fans in here, holler back. What's up? And I don't know that I have all my emotes unlocked on this account. I do not. But we'll bring that guy along. Island Arrival. Do I have my cool? I have that. This is probably my favorite anyway. Oops. Okay, we got it. We got it. Okay. You're not ready to hunt until you look great. That's just a fact, folks. Yeah, any Oregon Ducks fans, I mean, really, it's not as important if you're an Oregon Ducks fan as much as it's important that you're not a USC fan. That's really the key, I think, to success in life in general, is just not being a Trojan fan. Are there specific devs for each individual weapon, or is it a shared effort? That's a great question. I think it kind of depends on the weapon. The weapons sometimes originate from a single developer, but ultimately it is the contribution of every developer to bring it together, right? So you need to have someone to come up with how the weapon works. You need to have someone come up with how to tune it. Now we're obviously thinking about how cells factor into these decisions. Then you move on to start thinking about, okay, great, what does that model look like? So then the concept artists come in, animators come in. I think we're gonna have our boy Doug on the stream sometime. He's in charge of bringing all of the beautiful effects to bear. Yeah, so it really is a team effort. I don't know that there are a lot of things in the game that are the work of any one person. It really does take everybody working together. So. It is really, and I gotta say, it's really inspiring to see something come together. Like when you when you first start working with a thing in the game, it's placeholder, right? So it'll be like, oh, like I think like the war pike was just a stick for a long time, and it had some like, you could see like where the kind of hooks were to animate it. And it's like, oh yeah, I guess that's pretty cool. And then one day you start playing and it's fully skinned and it has all of the textures, and then you get hyped, so you go look at all the different concept art that is going to be applied for all the different versions. And it's one of those things where things they come together. It's like when you're working on something, and especially in a game, like 90% of the work is under the hood behind the scenes, and then that last 10% comes together so quickly and just blows your mind. It's pretty. I gotta say, coming to work every day, excited to see what new and amazing thing is being added to Shattered Isles, and what new and amazing feedback our community has for us. Not bad. Not bad. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, good start. Very good start. Big, frosty, whirlwind attack. Oh, come on. I didn't talk to a developer about that. I feel like I dodged that. I feel like I dodged that a little bit. That one, not so much. That one I did not dodge. That is confirmed. Confirmed Crash was kill on that one. That was lazy. I was going to need double back. We gotta get that spicy Jordan global emote, folks. Again, if you're looking for one of those keys and didn't manage to grab one, go ahead, tweet the @PlayDauntless account on Twitter with just like hashtag stream key, and we'll get the first 100 or so people a key. I want you guys to know I really appreciate everyone who's shown up here today and has helped support the game. It makes a world of difference, guys. Like really, it's a pleasure to do it. It's a pleasure to be hanging out with you guys, and we're looking forward to doing it much more in the future. So. Of course, grab those keys as they come through. Don't be shy about that. All right. So I've successfully lulled the Scrave into a false sense of security, and now that he feels confident. I can attack. I can start building that axe meter up. Now that it's all about, see guys, it's all about the mind games, right? Getting that E on the first hunt, getting that D on the second hunt, these behemoths know, right? The AI knows. And that's how you trick the AI into taking it easy on you. When you're doing those big quest hunts. And that's how you get ahead. It's the mind game, the long con. That's what you got to focus on. It's about strategy. It's all about strategy. Getting those break parts. No one's gonna be upset about that. Man, I gotta quit with these greedy overhead strikes. There we go. There we go. Gotta use those mobility strikes. It's not working without them. There we go. Yeah, see, being able to move is gonna be much more accurate. I did it! That was me. Big hit. All me. We might have to start talking about gearing appropriately for Streamlabs. That was savage. Sephiroth, though, coming in with that Rezakiri armor, making it pop. Thanks to everyone who contributed to that. I think we got at least one more. We got a little bit more time. Oh, if you want the Twitch flares, we request for Twitch flares in the chat. Go ahead, and we'll do a giveaway on those at some point. Maybe not today, but soon. I want to focus on getting the thing. I think we might be looking at a C for Crash here, because I didn't get knocked out this time. I maybe did like 30 damage though, so that's probably not what you'd hope for. Let's take a look. Oh, I missed it. I wasn't paying attention. It's okay. Whew. At any rate, let's get one more hunt in together. And then we got to get back to the business of making a video game, folks. So one more hunt. If you want to play along, go in the chat and play along, hashtag play along with your username. And of course, it would be wrong of me not to bring our wonderful Trightmare friend along. Trightmare, go ahead and let me know in party chat here if you would like to have me share your exciting news, or if you want to share that later. Let me know. Let me know. Portuguese? Yes, please. I would like to know Portuguese. And then let's grab somebody good from the chat here. Let's go ahead and grab. All right, maintained. Ooh, that's a good. Oh, maintained. That is a good username. All right. Trightmare, getting the invite, not accepting the invite. A little hurtful, if we're being honest. It's okay. Doing the dance. I can see the dance. I can feel the dance. Oh, that means hello. Hola. Is it hola or hola? That accent is important, I'm guessing. I'm guessing that accent is important. See, we're learning. Look at this. Slayers from around the world coming together to learn foreign languages and have a good time. What could be better? Let's see, Trightmare. Making me sad. There we go. Now he's in. All right. Try get in that party chat. Let me know if you want to share your exciting news, or if you want to hold off on that. We'd love to support our partners, so don't want to blow up his spot though if he's not ready for it. All right. All right. Share the news, please. So, Trightmare, of course, one of the Dauntless partners, who streams Dauntless all the time. Had an amazing time meeting him, I believe, for the first time at PAX, either South or East. We stayed in contact, and it turns out what Trightmare does for his day job. Hang on, we're going to read the quest text. We always read the quest text. You've proven you have the ability to take on a diverse array of behemoth slayer. In your work for me alone, you've advanced our understanding of different species tenfold at least. The shattered frontier is relatively pacified, and the monstrous verge is open for settlement. Now I need you to push yourself and your crew harder than ever before. But your venture into yonder keys is just beginning, and I have reports of some strange behemoth development out there. Speak to a wayfinder about exploring the region further. And then, that's instructions. I don't know that that's necessarily what she's saying. It's fine. Anyway, so in his day job, Mr. Trightmare does data analysis. He's a good with numbers, and we needed someone that was we have someone who's very good with numbers, and we needed someone else that was good with numbers. So we went and hired us a Trightmare. So welcome to the Phoenix Labs team officially and in public. Your Lordship, your Dr. Lordship Trightmare, and welcome to the team. Let's see here. Chat, let me know what kind of VO. What kind of VO do we need to give this good boy? What is this? What is this? Tell me what this voice sounds like. Tell me what kind of voice you would expect to come out of this beautiful individual here. And we'll do our best to share that out. I can feel it. Just waiting for chat, I don't know that I can do Idris Elba. It's a raspy voice. All right, we can do raspy. Rob, if you're watching this, Corey, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry, but chat gets what chat wants. She's got the raspy voice. Oh wait, or Vin Diesel. Well, what if it's like raspy Vin Diesel? I think we can do that. I think we can do raspy Vin Diesel. I can feel it. Raspy, a bit deep Vin Diesel. Okay. Well, I don't know. I can't do Vin Diesel, so we're just. She's kind of raspy. It's like, I know you. You're one of Cat's recruits. One of some notoriety as I understand it. Apparently this person had a head injury at some point. I suppose you're looking for guidance from inexperienced wayfinder. Mr. Vin, Sir, Mr. Diesel, if you're watching this, this is not meant as an insult. I'm so sorry. You would not be the first Slayer. If Slayer indeed you are, let us see. I do not work just for anyone, but I have heard of Priani's concerns about the Underkeys, and I share them. Apparently, this is what's happening. I've also heard Kat speak of you. She believes you have potential, so yes, perhaps we can help each other.
Ready to fly when
Oh, okay. You know what? We're not gonna torture anyone else with my serenading. All right. Let's go get our next quest. Let's get it done. Let's get it. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, that kind of put a pallor on the Crash VO pack. That unfortunately had to go away.
The work waits.
All right. The Yonder Keys are the next region the Regent wants to start settling, or so I am told. But that would be a foolish thing to do before we know the full extent of the behemoth threat there. Those strange developments I mentioned. This is Shatner. You gotta have Shatner. It's the behemoths themselves. Species aren't remaining stable or predictable. Mutations are starting to arise, and I'm not even sure how. Behemoths don't even reproduce as we understand it. Ask your parents. How could they be mutating? As you further explore the Underkeys, you can help me find out. Slay one Ragetail Gnasher and one Move Reader Strike. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that.
Very good.
All right, let's go do it. Let's go do it. I can feel it. I can feel it. All right. Yes, Ewan, I think that she likes bingo. We had a very wonderful Lyft driver in PAX East who told us all about bingo. All right, create a new pursuit. Ragetail Gnasher, confirm. Ragetail Gnasher pursuit. All right. Hype in the chat for this Ragetail. We're going to get it done. We're going to get all sorted out. Riverme, question, are there plans for voice acting on the quest dialogue? I think we want to expand voice dialogue as much as we can. It's a pretty complicated process. I think one of my favorite people in the studio is Rob, who's our audio director and helps manage a lot of the voice acting. And of course, Corey, our writer, does a lot of the directing for the voice recording sessions. I think we should have both those gentlemen on to help you dig in before I promise anything I can't. So I'll have fun. Either get Undamaged or solo Moonreaver. Oh yeah, I mean I can, but that's intimidating, so I don't. But I could. So, you know. Esports, Esporta. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right, let's get hype for this Moonreaver. Let's get hype. Or, I'm sorry, Ragetail. We're going after Ragetail. We're getting in there, going after that Ragetail Gnasher. I can feel it, I can feel it, I can feel it. Boys, get those flares up in the sky as we land. Get those banners down. Oh, good. We have a little Rezakiri gear. We have a little Shroud gear. I think we're going to be okay. We're going to be fine. We're going to be just fine. All right. Gotta get them. Gotta get the mushrams. Ooh, yes. Kogath flare. I like that. That looks like a alpha tester flare or a translator flare. And of course, the Trightmare flare. Might have been the beta. That might be. Oh, that's the founder flare. Duh. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for your support. It really does mean a lot. Everyone who's a founder, if you're watching, I really can't tell you how much it means to us. Like Jesse said, you know, the game, we started at the studio about 4 years ago, and putting a game out that people are willing to really believe in and invest their hard-earned money in, it means a lot. And it really, can't thank you guys enough for having faith and sharing your feedback and your insights with us. Peraza says we should have a dragon flare. I mean, why stop there when you could have like a dragon force flare that like maybe like shreds like sick metal tunes. And at that rate, then you have to have like a Metalocalypse one, and then now we're back to, you know, wanting to have like maybe another Adult Swim theme flare, right? So you have the Squidbillies flare. See, this is the creativity that you can count on for the Dauntless dev streams. I feel like we're doing pretty well here. I feel like, by we I mean them. Chat, we're gonna go for at least a B here. No more excuses. This is a very good stagger. Very, 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 very good stagger position for us. Oh, if you can just nudge a little bit, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Yes! Yeah, no! Oh, I think I'm gonna come up short on that one. Yeah, I sure did. That's good. We gotta keep an eye on our stamina here, but coming swinging. Boom, bring that axe down. Oh gosh. Oof, man, see the rage tail moves, that double lunge is hard to predict. There we go. All right, perfect. Bring those big, huge hits down. Oh, to avoid that. You gotta wonder, like, you hear the rage tail, and we didn't show up. What are you doing with the rest of your day? Do you build a dam? Do you try to find another rage tail nasher to share your news with? Do you get along with the other people? These are all questions, and they're questions I hope to one day that we will answer. Always good to see the stagger bubbles come out. Someone else is probably working that. Oh no, that's just Trightmare doing good work with the hammer there. No. All right, let's show this. Well, let's show this Rage Tail what it means to be festive. Let's call in some holiday supplies. Okay. If I remember what was in here, that would be good. Oh yeah, no. It's a very good buff. Yeah, this will help a lot. I believe that's damage and defense. Those are not going to hurt at all. Okay. Boom. Animations are so good. You gotta get the animators on. The other thing too is if you guys are interested, and let us know, in the chat. We can also get you guys actually, like, we can hook another computer up and we can actually kind of show you what the game looks like in engine a little bit. So if that's something you guys would be interested in, just be sure to share that in your feedback. Boom, that's a quick down. All right, chat, let me know, what do you think? Are we thinking, I'm thinking at least a B. I'm feeling like, well, okay. That's D for dynamic, D for daring, D for my team got an S+, and that's really all that matters in the world. I do have to say, it is amazing to see people in the Shroud armor, in the Rezakiri armor, doing big damage. Having people get all the way through the content, being so passionate, really, really does mean the world to us. And like I said before, if you're coming in late, we released a blog today that talks all about the new progression system, that talks all about the new challenges we'll have for you. So if you find yourself now towards the end of progression and you're looking for a challenge, go ahead, pop over into that blog and see what's coming. And that will be going out in our May 2nd patch. With a refresh, with a wipe on all player data, so you'll be able to start with a new progression. And that's about it. So today we did a good 2 hours. We'll have this up on VOD for you guys to watch later if you want. If you'd like to see more streams more frequently, go ahead and drop us a note, either on Reddit or Twitter or even just here on Twitch. We'll be keeping an eye out. But we'll be doing more live streams at least once a month, if not more frequently. If you guys want to see in-engine stuff, if there are specific people you want to see interviewed, if you guys have ideas for activities we can do together, really this stream is for you guys. It's from us, but it's for you. And so anything you want to see, just let us know, and we'll work really hard to make it happen. So we're going to get back to making games, and yeah. Other than that, I think thanks for showing up. I can't tell you how much it means to the studio. We're so excited for the update on the 2nd. We're super excited to get your feedback, and open beta is going to be a blast, guys. It's going to be amazing to have those 1 million registered Slayers come through and join us in the Shattered Isles. It's going to be an amazing time. So I think that about does it for today. And until I see you next time,